Hello, Schmoville. Well, it is now episode 37. Wow, 37. Shut up, dog. 37 of the Schmoes Know Podcast, Phase 2. And this was an episode where we live streamed it. We had the camera on us as we Google. I know it wasn't Google Plus. It was YouTube. It was a YouTube live stream, and we were running into Schmoville. There were you guys who were watching it, and we had special guest comedian Ari Shaffir, who is never a person to hold his tongue when speaking things. So if you're offended by some of the stuff that he says, it's a comedian, and it's Ari Shaffir. So if you're offended, I apologize in advance. That's who he is. The other thing is Catherine Reitman was there, and we talked Oscar movies, everything that was going on. The Oscars were coming up. It was 2012. So check it out. Let us know what you think, and then make sure you check out Phase 5 of the podcast. It's on every Thursday night on the website, schmoesknow.com, 7 and 9 p.m. PST. All right. Thanks, Schmobill.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Schmoes Know Podcast. I'm Kristian. Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
You got it out.
Oh, my God, it's too exciting to stop. Be quiet.
No, that was really good, dude.
It was like the best intro you've ever done.
Really? You're starting to get like the radio. Hey, welcome back to the Schmoes Know Podcast.
Oh, all right, let's
Traffic
try
and sports 5 past the hour here on KPPX.
Cut it out. All right, welcome back to the Schmoes Know Podcast.
Very
I'm
good.
Lucas Jones.
It was a very solid opening.
Thank
I'm
you.
just really proud of you.
It was a
thank
very
you.
solid opening by Kristian
Thank
Harloff. My name is Mark Ellis. We are the Schmoes.
And we are joined by VH1 host and Breaking It Down host, Catherine Reitman.
What is up?
Okay, so we're back. This is the second week that we are going to be back all together again. And I would like to talk about a few things this week, mostly concerning the Oscars.
Award shows in general are the topic du jour.
Yes, I think we're going to talk a lot about the Oscars today, as far as like what was nominated, what we think will win, what got snubbed, what we think of the host, yada yada yada. But before we do that, we have to talk about our award show, the YouTube Movie Reviewing Award Show, and that would be the You Reviewers Awards.
That's right. We everything's in the can, or I guess it's out. It's
released.
But
it's released. So that at this
Hope
point,
you guys liked it.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was on ENTV. It was on the February 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. You know what? This is going to be hard to do with the streaming as well too. We are live streaming as well too. So
it was the 15th, 16th, 17th,
it was February
18th.
15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th on ENTV.
And what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day week than with the one you love curled up watching us announce movie winners?
Exactly. So I'm very one of the things I wanted to talk about though was the making of the award show. When we did a little segment, if you guys check out on the Schmoes Know channel, the backstage at the You Reviewers Awards, we did a segment.
Pretty powerful stuff.
It was.
Down.
Did you like the segment? Yeah, you didn't tell me about
amazing. Yeah, it was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought it was really well put together too, because our buddy Mark Riley got a lot of footage, and it was just really well cobbled together to where it didn't bore you, because sometimes when you see behind the scenes stuff, it just gets a little old, and it's like, all right, I get it. But that I was invested the whole time. And I hate watching myself.
That's right. It was a lot of fun to do. And what was really cool was that Catherine and Jeremy Johns had not met yet. So we actually had the actual meeting of when the two of them met, too. Yeah. And it felt like very, like, even when the little title comes on the back of her name, it's like Catherine Reitman. And she walks in, like, that epic meeting. It was really fun.
It felt very, very epic saga-y.
Right?
You know?
It was just cool. And then you saw us with our stupid shirts on, and we were walking around. I mean, we had a lot of fun doing it. And that's the thing, is that I think one of the people ask, like, how come this award show is happening? I think it's because, yes, it's by people who are fans of movies that are doing it, but it's so much fun to watch how much support it's getting, because people like what it is and enjoy what it is, and I think that's what makes it so fulfilling.
I mean, it feels like I'm crowd surfing. It feels like we were on stage and you just jump into the crowd and you just get to go back and forth. It's really cool.
It's fun, and
it's close I'll ever be to a rock star.
I love how especially the YouTube community in general has supported it, and ENTV has supported it, and I'd like to thank the fans for sure. Thank you so much for all the support.
And a personal thank you for me to Kristian for doing so much for the Reviewers Awards, because you worked your tail off on this thing.
I've tried. I mean, and the reason why is, again, because of how much the people really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think that when they like something that much, you got to make it better.
Yeah.
You got to make it better.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and I hope the fans really appreciate the idea that this show, the whole message behind it, the whole energy of it, is that it's just about celebrating what you guys like, what we like, the real talent out there.
And you know what I want to do also is that I didn't get a chance to do it yet, and that is like if you guys saw on episode 4, it was the fan tribute video that we did, and Mr. Chris Stuckman had edited that himself.
Well done, sir.
Because ENTV had it was the only piece that they couldn't do and they couldn't get to. So I had given Chris the clips and stuff too, and asked him what I like, and he put it together and he kicked ass on it.
Well, someone who loves movies
Chris.
should be editing that kind of thing,
Absolutely.
and and he knocked it out of the park.
Stuckman knows his shit.
Yeah. So can we complain about how much stuff Drive won?
I don't want to say anything. It's no spoilers. No spoilers.
Just a hint.
Okay. So, all right. Anyway, let us talk about something else now, and that would be the Oscars. Okay? Now, the Oscars is coming up.
Bum.
That's right.
Yes.
Now,
finally, I get to talk about dresses. Finally.
Shoes. Catherine, who are you wearing today for the podcast?
Oh, my God. Just a touch of this and that. Some Gap body sweatpants and a little T-shirt.
I am dressing better because Catherine said that she liked what I'm wearing this morning. So
I do. I really like Mark's outfit.
I know I'm wearing pajama pants. And
It's
she
so
gave me
weird that
hell.
we're wearing the same outfit from last week, you guys.
This is Michael Anthony, the bass player from Van Halen's Hot Sauce Company.
That's
she
so
loved
shocking.
the shirt.
So shocking.
Well, because they would sell that at somewhere on Melrose or
Yeah,
something.
I guess the original
looks
bass
hip.
player.
Very
for Van
hip.
Halen.
All right, our guest is here,
Yeah.
so we're going to let Mark and Catherine take over.
Yeah.
Guys, what's that?
We're gonna have to make some space for Ari,
All right,
but
we're moving things down, moving
because
things around.
Ari is one of those guys that,
Ari in between.
we can put Ari in
put him
between there.
here?
Don't worry, sweetheart, I'll protect you. You
Thanks,
see,
Mark.
based on the internet video that's just gone viral, me and Catherine in love.
Madly.
We
Madly.
can't get away from each other.
Nope.
Love seeing you at screenings. We eat mambas together.
We definitely share candy.
It's a lot of fun. We have our
Mark is the kind of guy I just don't ever not want to be around. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I would like to introduce now. I'm sitting down. We have
What's
a
up,
very
dude?
good buddy of ours. He's here to join us. Very funny comedian, Mr. Ari Shaffir, playing with my dog.
all right.
He's a cool-looking dog.
Thank you.
Tell
People
me,
like
bite
that
my
dog.
fingers
Oh,
or
she's friendly.
snap at them.
You can't really be afraid of a dog that tiny. Like we have a dog in the back right now that'll scare. It looks like a damn bear. It looks like something out of
Yes,
the Prey.
that's
I mean,
right.
it
What
is
is that?
terrifying.
It is a big dog that my father-in-law brought over, and it's like something that Leslie Nielsen would fight.
Yeah, and a Naked Gun. Yeah, he's real.
Or Liam Neeson, excuse me.
Yeah,
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen
Leslie Nielsen
fight
and
it.
Naked Gun.
Yeah,
Liam
that was
Neeson
good.
in the
You saved
grave.
me there.
Did he
but
die? Is he still alive?
No,
Leslie Nielsen passed away, unfortunately. Surely you can't be serious.
OJ killed him. Yeah. Ari, so
Give your guest a proper introduction.
yes, I wanted to, guys, for those of you who are joining us on live stream and then listening to us on the podcast, I wanted to tell you more about Ari Shaffir. I've known Ari for shit, man. It's like 10 years. We're getting
Yeah,
old.
probably. I know. Everybody I talk to now is like, how long do we know each other? It's always 10 years.
It is, right?
Or when did that
That's
thing
a
happen? I'm
magic number.
like 10 years ago.
It's the truth. Ari is one of the funnier comedians that I've known, and like, he opens for Joe Rogan all over the road. He's a big UFC fan like me too.
Yeah.
And there's an old school. Is it still on YouTube?
What?
The Amazing Racist?
Some of them. They pulled down some of them.
I
'cause
can
it's
imagine.
too racist for them.
Yeah. there was
Racist for you too.
there was how like that's raw. Like
Yeah.
if you're too racist for YouTube, like you should have a
Yeah.
shirt that says that.
Yeah. I try to explain to them irony, but they never get it.
I don't know if anybody knows that series. That I'm sure that there's tons of people out here that did. Let us know if you recognize Ari from that. But again, Ari, what else? What are you working on right now?
Stand up. I'm trying to write a new hour this year.
Awesome. When are you and Joe going back on the road?
We only go out sometimes. I don't know. I'm going to Maryland next week, or not next week, next month.
Okay.
Are you working in Maryland? Or are you just going home?
No, I'm working, and then I go home a few days early. I'm working in Easton.
In Easton? Is there a
Yeah,
club there?
In the middle of nowhere. It's like a venue. It's like a theater or something.
Now, you guys are always on the road
do
because I know,
comedy
Mark,
once a
you
month.
always do stand up on the road too.
Yeah.
Is that something you look forward to, or are you like, oh crap, I gotta
No,
go
I look
stay in a
forward
weird
to it.
hotel room?
Yeah, once you're there, it's the best feel. It's like crack because it's so much more fun than it is in LA for me because the crowds are real and it's always packed. But like the traveling and stuff gets a little old.
Do you get to have a whole new
yeah, that's the only
identity?
problem.
Yeah, what's that?
You get to have a whole new identity too. You get to be whoever you want.
It's
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's like Spy versus Spy.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't really go on stage and be like, so being an astronaut's really hard. Like they still know you're a comedian.
I always wanted to do that. I shaved my head when I started, and I I wrote this bit when I was doing open mics at the Comedy Store about how I had cancer. Yeah. And
Get some sympathy, Tang.
Yeah, it was only 3 minutes, but it was like I wrote like 5 jokes about it.
Yeah.
About what chemo's like.
Until you meet that one woman who's like, I also am on chemo.
They probably love you. They probably bond over it.
Yeah.
You probably made a
Right.
lot of people feel better unless then you admitted it and now they're watching and they...
How are you keeping all that weight on?
My theory is that I was thinner back then. I was way poorer.
You were the first guy that was hosting the comedy. When I started doing the open mic at the Comedy Store, they have this open mic called Potluck on Sundays, and I went there to try to get on the open mic, and Ari was the first guy I saw hosting it. And I just remember watching.
You have a lot of people's first time, first comic they saw. It's weird.
you popped my cherry. And,
I did that for a few years. That's
You were running when I became a regular there. He was running the showcase.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really? So we're all linked here together.
If you've ever been to the Comedy Store in LA, that place, I described it. It's like a bug zapper for crazy people. Like it's just this blue light, and they all get attracted. Most of them hit it and they die.
Yeah, they do.
And
some burnout.
But those open micers are so crazy. But then watching Ari go through it, I'm like, this job looks so cool because Ari was just so casual. He looked like he just had rolled off his couch and gone to the show. Little did I know that's actually what had happened.
What it is.
But he just had such a cool casual vibe.
And
on
Ari's
stage.
been through the shit. Ari's definitely like one of the warriors of the Comedy Store. So.
You actually, I think you have a record because before you get past to become a paid regular and get to do spots like on the weekends at the Comedy Store, the owner Mitzi Shore has to pass you to say that you can do this. I think didn't you showcase for like a record 31 times
It was
or
a
something
lot.
like that?
I was 132 and 2.
Wow.
That was my final record.
Yeah,
I got
the one
made a paid regular once. I got made a not paid regular twice.
Yeah.
the one championship's all you need.
Yeah, that's it. And then from there,
Okay, so Ari is here to join us today. Ari, I know being on the road and stuff. Have you seen a lot of movies of last year, 2011?
I just watched Warrior because you told me it was
great,
good.
great. And
We have somebody
don't tell
else.
me. Don't tell me what you thought of it yet. We're definitely going to get into that.
We're all about suspense
yes,
here.
yes,
all
absolutely
about
good. So, did you see a bunch of stuff at all in 2011? Do you know any of the
Let me
Oscar
think.
movies that are coming out?
Let me hear them.
All right, we're going to go through a bunch, and if you see, and I still want to hear your
I'll
opinion. even
judge
if you
by
didn't see it.
commercial, probably.
Perfect. Okay, so
By the way, I want to do a
Fair,
new
fair.
review. You're still doing reviews, right?
Of course,
I want to do a review for Wrath of Titans.
oh yeah, you come back. You gotta come back.
Because I walked out on Clash of Titans, so I want to do this review based on just a part of it, based on refusing to see it.
That's right. Ari was our guest. Ari was our guest in not only the Clash of Titans review, which was Ari reviewed Clash of Titans. He set up a webcam and then just bitched about the movie for about 20 minutes.
I looked at
And then said he
IMDb.
walked out.
Yeah,
well,
I was
not only is it-
casting was bad,
But you're
Wardrobe was bad.
you're the star of our
watched.
of our most watched review of all time, Jackass 3D.
over
Yeah.
130,000 strong.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's pretty
Huge.
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mr. Shafir.
We had one really good moment
That Rocky
Tripoli.
thing. Yeah, it's really funny. If you guys have not seen that review, check that out. Go to just search Jackass 3D review by Schmoes, and it's Ari does a hysterical bit.
We were on the road, me and Tripoli and a couple other people on the road, and this guy Patrick was taping us. He had to slow that stuff down and try to mess with the editing. And then I asked you if I could use the Rocky theme, and you're like, nah. So I just sang it. I was like,
That was even better. Yeah.
It was better than that Super Bowl commercial that they just had with the Rocky theme in it. It was
Oh, that was awful. They
Yeah.
they did it.
I think it was a Hyundai commercial.
They all started humming it and stuff, and it was terrible. Okay, so Catherine is going to be running the show here with the Oscar stuff because we're going to talk about what we thought as far as a lot of the main
Or
categories.
he's not nominated for an Oscar, is it?
Nick Nolte's
Nick Nolte
is nominated
supporting
for Best
actor.
Supporting Actor.
Barf. He wasn't even that good.
Get out of here!
You're out of your mind. You're out of your
You really
mind.
like the movie?
Yeah, it was great. He was fine.
You don't think he was? What do you think? Because he played himself?
No, he didn't play himself. He wasn't
was Gary
doing
Busey, I
coke
could
off
see
a
it.
whore's ass.
Wait, so why don't you think he deserved it?
He had
No,
emotional.
It's fine. I didn't even notice his acting. I was like, oh, it's fine.
That scene,
right.
that
When
scene
he's
when he
that-
cries, when Tom Hardy holds him in the hotel room and he's reading Moby Dick and he's drunk and Tom Hardy
That was
has to
amazing?
cradle
Yeah,
him.
it's sort of nice, but the way he kept screaming about Moby Dick, it
Yeah.
was like nobody gets that drunk.
That
I've
last
never
scene,
anybody
tear
seen
down the
anybody that
cheek
drunk.
when the two boys are leaving the.
Oh yeah, that was great.
You're
Come
saying
on.
when you get hammered, you don't go home and listen to books on tape?
And scream about them.
And scream!
He's listened to this book
Stop
like 1,000
the ship!
times, and now he's like, "Moby, just." It was like, what are you doing? What is this? Are these the lines? What are you doing?
You heartless bastard.
No, I was like, oh fuck, he relapsed or whatever. But then it's like, he's not doing it right. I don't know.
All right. Well, what about? Well, here's a question then. Not just about Oscar. Ari is a diehard mixed martial arts fan. You'll probably see him when you watch pay per view. You probably see his face right in the side of the
There's
cage.
one, if you look for in Brazil, they had a fight where somebody it was a wheel kick, spinning back wheel kick, and knocked out. And I'm sitting in the front row. He just, as the guy falls, it's in super slow motion, and as the guy falls, I just put my hand over my mouth. of like terror for that guy's life.
I couldn't believe
and
it.
Then I just stand up.
I'm
slowly.
not an MMA follower at all, and I watched Warrior last night for the first time. And every time they lift someone and throw him on the ground, like I was watching with my husband, I was screaming. Like I couldn't believe. I can't believe they lift and drop.
It's emotional.
They don't do it quite that much.
Right, but
that was a little bit easy.
Right,
to
because
pick people up on that.
Yeah, when all of a sudden he steps into the ring and he's like, "I'll fight him." Bam, bam, bam. He's like throwing him around the ring.
But they do. You can't help but anytime someone slams anybody, you think of Rampage.
Slamming somebody?
Yeah,
yeah,
right away.
Well, let me ask you, because I did Joe Rogan's podcast a couple weeks ago. We were talking about Warrior, and I, because I know he's a huge MMA guy, and Harloff would kill me if I didn't ask him about it. So he said that he liked the movie, but that he didn't enjoy how implausible it was that you have that many fights in that short period of time.
Not only that,
Right,
I was like,
right,
who's this guy? There's nobody, this 500 fighter in the UFC, and he gets to fight for $5 million. There's only 16 people in the world in the middleweights. There'd be a
Right.
bunch of people that are like, wait, him?
And I defer because I bought the whole thing because I don't know that much about
That part
the
was
UFC.
like,
Same.
no
Same.
way.
But because you got to realize though, and I'm surprised that you guys would say that though, especially you and Joe, because they acknowledge that UFC is a separate entity in that movie. So this is almost like Strike Force.
There's way more than 16 guys ahead of some nobody who's half retired.
Right, but
in
that
other organizations.
camp that he had, that was the guy that they had. Like, I guess if Gracie had somebody, granted, he probably would have used somebody better than that guy, but the guy convinced him to put him in the tournament.
Wait, you don't get a pick as a camp. They don't go to each camp.
And UFC, not in this organization. We don't know the
that
rules.
organization, because they have the guy who got knocked out in that training session and somebody else from the same camp.
Hey, Catherine,
you don't
how
just
you
get to
doing?
replace him with
Real
a
good.
nobody.
Well, what about Rocky then? So Rocky shouldn't have fought Apollo?
No, he eventually got a few good fights, and then they gave him somebody. They gave him a tomato can.
I think
that was
Rocky,
one fight. That was
the
for
way
$5
Rocky
million
builds
tournament.
is pretty because Apollo's in the position to pick whoever he wants to fight, and he handpicked Rocky.
Who was that guy that fought Tyson when he got out of prison? That white guy.
Peter McNeely. That's pretty much it.
It's like something like that. But that's one fight. That's not for $5 million in
You don't
championship.
know who
won.
Peter
He won
Hurricane
one fight.
McNeely is. Go YouTube Peter McNeely's Pizza Hut stuffed crust commercial. It's the greatest. It's the greatest 30 seconds of your entire
Really?
life.
Right. Well, our arch nemesis Grindhouse said that he hates everything that we like, even if we like it, and he really likes it. He says he hates it. So Warrior is as cliched and recycled as any fight film. I don't agree with that at all.
No.
No, I think there's definitely some like overly sentimentalized parts. Sentimentalized? Is that? How do we feel about that?
I will
Pretty good.
pass that.
Pass.
It's like in
A+.
Jeopardy when Alex Trebek has to look at the judges. Like judges, we'll accept that.
We'll pass it. Yeah, I think there was definitely some like overly sentimentalized moments, but in general, I thought it was great
I
storytelling.
like it's cool the idea of like you follow a fighter and watch him rise to the top like Rocky or like 8
Right.
Mile or anything else, and then but then there's like it follows two guys and they both have to fight. So there's no demon.
And
they're
they're
brothers.
But they're all. But they're,
One of the brothers is a bit of a demon.
yeah, they're both fighting. They both have their demons though. Cause
No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying there's no bad guy. Like
Oh, right,
Drago was the bad guy. Like you want Rocky to beat
right. And
Drago.
Kurt Angle wasn't
In
even that
but I
bad
think
of
that's
a.
but
Yeah,
that's
in this
a
they're
pro.
both trying to. They're both the storyline.
I know, but I think we're a pretty sophisticated crowd. We can accept the idea that there's no longer the villains don't have to be completely bad and the good guys have to be completely good.
I
I
think
like that
that's
both
what
these
was-
guys are flawed.
That's what I liked
Both-
about it, yeah.
That was cool about that last fight is that you don't know who you're rooting for. It's like watching a football game. If like I'm a Redskins fan
Yeah.
and I'm watching the Giants play the Eagles, I hate both those teams, so I don't know who I'm rooting for.
Ari
so it's
wanted
kinda
Tong
fun.
Po from Kickboxer.
I also like that the money in both purposes would have gone either to saving this guy's house or to the
There's no bad. There
widow.
was no
Right.
like negative. It was like I could root for each.
But
of
it
them.
was interesting that they didn't show the widow watching the fight because we don't want to root for her getting the money. We want the school teacher
Yeah,
to get the money.
manipulation.
I wish they kind of sort of hadn't shown the end of the fight.
Had it shown-
Also, it was weird. He was the only guy who did any jiu-jitsu in that tournament.
yeah, that's true.
See, I don't know jiu-jitsu, but
I do definitely,
But
and
I know
missed
everyone
it.
else
I
was
thought
trying
it was
to punch
weird.
and
I thought
kick.
it was weird.
Yeah.
But he was the only one.
Well, I just thought it was pretty good. The fact that you have to admit, out of all the MMA movies that have come out, it's by far the best. I mean, you had
Well, it was that and what,
Black
Lionheart?
Belt. No. That's not those. Not. I don't mean martial arts film, mixed martial arts film, to where.
Name a few others because for me, I
Red
just-
Belt.
Red Belt. That
was
was
awful.
so stupid. I
Awful.
couldn't see it from the commercial. I couldn't see it.
Well,
They-
for those kind of movies, it's nice for a fan who's not a huge MMA follower
Yeah.
that there's great
Yeah.
storytelling going
Oh
on.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty great.
We care about all the characters.
That
you
was
know.
it was emotional. I thought too because a lot of this, what I liked about
Was
it.
that Channing Tatum movie?
Oh,
MMA?
fighting awful.
was
Yeah,
bad?
it was awful
No?
because the thing is that all these movies besides Warrior treated mixed martial arts like underground crime rings, and no one treated it like a sport. This was the first film that treated it like a sport.
But also, there's no way he's a 500 UFC fighter. When did he suddenly get great?
Yeah, but don't shit on that part. Embrace the fact that it was actually treated with respect and not framed because the mob has their. It was
treated with respect. Nick Nolte's the only one who got nominated.
In all those movies.
We'll move on. This is gonna be a whole hour on Warrior.
The bell has rung on Warrior.
Okay, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's go, Catherine. Why don't we start from You can pick a category on some with the nominees and what we thought about it and who we think's gonna win.
Let's go big. Let's go big or go home. Let's go best actor.
Okay. All right. What do we got?
What do we got?
Well, our front runner is going to be Clooney. Our front runner is going to be Clooney for best actor in The Descendants. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet just because I was like going to see it. And the girl I was going to see it with was like, are you in a mood for a sad movie? I'm like, nah.
Right.
Okay, we've got it here. So just to list them for nominated for Oscar, I imagine that's what this is doing.
You got Clooney?
George Clooney, Descendants.
Yes.
We got Jean Dujardin in The Artist, silent film.
Phenomenal.
A whole win.
Phenomenal.
Gary Oldman in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
First nomination.
Yeah, first time Gary Oldman was nominated.
What?
Yeah.
He wasn't nominated for Fifth Element? He was so good.
He was.
I think we can all agree that Gary Oldman will look smashing, but he's not going home with,
he's not.
With a statue. We've got
Sometimes they give makeup calls in the Oscars.
Demian Bashir in A Better Life.
Which one?
It says best actor.
Demian Bashir in A Better Life.
Better Life. Right. That was the dark horse.
Trying to get his kid.
Right.
No chance. Zero chance.
No, zero
chance. But again, this will only get him more work, which is great.
Cold-hearted Shafir. Just no chance.
I like it.
Ari's like, I've never heard of it.
Ari's not even giving him an invite to the award show. He's like, dude, you're not winning. Don't
We've
even
got
show
a real
up.
unknown Brad Pitt in Moneyball.
Right.
And that is it. So who's snubbed?
Well, snubbed, you got, apparently Ryan Gosling, you think, right?
Oh, big time.
What?
For Drive. I don't think so. But
I think for Drive, I wasn't as crazy about him in the Ides of March as many were.
I think Ides of March, it was okay, but it wasn't an Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't think Ides of March was a good enough Oscar movie. Everybody loves Drive, but I don't think it was good enough to be an Oscar
really
performance.
Special in Drive.
Yeah. Did you see Drive?
No, I kept waiting and I couldn't see it. I was going to see with this girl. We kept missing each other.
Is this the same girl?
No.
I'm starting to get how you go see movies.
So are you one of these people, you don't like going to the movies by yourself?
No, I eventually got to that.
I love it.
It used to be easier when Sunset 5 was
movies
open.
by
I could just walk down there and go.
Yeah. And then Brad Pitt and Money. I think it's between Brad Pitt, Clooney, and Jean Dujardin for The Artist.
I think Clooney's taking it.
I think Clooney's taking it. I think he's taking the gold.
And I gotta say, because I know I've done it in previous podcasts, but for a couple other snubbed, big fan of Paul.
Blart?
Blart Malkoff?
Yeah.
No, I'm
It was
Paul
wonderful.
Blart
It was
Malkoff.
underrated,
I don't
definitely.
understand.
You set us up with Paul. I'm going to the Malkoff.
No. I'm talking about.
Giamatti?
No, not Giamatti. By the way,
Provenza.
he was
McCartney?
brilliant in The Other Sister. Can we just talk about that? No, I'm talking about
Simon?
No.
The Apostle?
I wasn't prepared for this podcast.
Paul the Apostle? That would be good.
Paul the Apostle,
He
yeah.
should definitely
All
win
right,
Best
you talk about
Supporting
a snub.
Actor.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd. Thank you.
Paul
in
Rudd.
Idiot Brother.
In Our Idiot Brother?
Yes. Did you finally see it, Katie?
Are you kidding me?
Comedy,
For an Oscar?
Comedy is so underrated at the Oscars, you
They
guys.
should have a comedy division in the Oscars.
100%. The Globes have it. Why not this?
And not comedy
Because you can't
/
compete
music.
with Clooney and The
Because
Descendants.
those are two completely separate things.
Yeah, because anytime one of those stupid Chicago movie comes out, that's going
they're
to
gonna
sweep
win.
all that
Yeah.
category.
But as
comedy will never
sophisticated
win.
as Clooney is in The Descendants and has Lost and Vulnerable and all those things that you tap into, and for someone who's known as a ladies' man and a non-committer, he plays someone so beautifully. But Paul Rudd is spectacular.
Paul Rudd's fantastic. I just thought it was a little like one note. He's just kind of this guy, just kind of
idiot.
Oh, he's just
He was
so
just kind of like a
soft
stoner,
and-
just hanging out, happy. There's this guy that looks like Jesus that comes up to the Comedy Store all the time.
Yes.
And he's a nice guy, but he's only Jesus. That's who he is. He just kind of walks around like Jesus. That's what
Maybe
Paul
because
Rudd was.
I know Paul Rudd loosely. It was a huge performance.
Oh,
for
you
him.
dropped a name on the floor there. You may want to pick that up.
Well, and not very, like I said, very loosely. I just worked with him a couple times.
You
and
hooked
every
up with
time,
Paul Rudd?
I fucked him.
Yep.
I fucked him hard. Nice. No, I've never slept with him. He is a married man. I'm a married woman. But he is.
So you think Paul Rudd and Fassbender got snubbed?
Oh, we're talking about Best Actor, right?
Yeah,
we're talking
about
snub Best Actor.
Snub Best Actor, Fassbender, 100%.
And she thinks Rudd and
Fassbender
Our
from
Idiot
what?
Brother.
For which? Shame?
For Shame.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
I actually
Brilliant.
think, and you said Paul, and I would have been okay with Giamatti for win-win.
Yeah.
He was great.
Do you think if Fassbender wasn't as well hung as he was, that he'd get nominated? Like the Academy would
said
think,
you have that. You don't need an Oscar.
No, the Academy was like, you know what? That's a really brave choice for an average-sized man to walk around naked that much. But he's hung like a horse, so it's like it doesn't matter.
But I actually do think that hurt him.
The horsecock?
Yeah, horsecock hurt him. Not that. No, the fact that there's the Academy is so old school, and the fact that they're
he showed his penis.
Well, the sexual content, the NC-17, it would probably.
The irony is the movie actually isn't even sexy.
Shame,
There's so much sex in it. It actually, it's like you
disturbing.
see. Yeah, it's disturbing.
Yeah.
Shame is NC-17, right?
Yeah.
So it's very tough. Like Deep Throat got nominated, right?
What it did? What?
Didn't Deep Throat get nominated for an Oscar?
I would.
Should have. It's an important film. Everyone still remembers it.
It should have, but no.
You're absolutely right.
There is one
Wait,
NC-17 that got nominated.
Wait, was it
Not Deep Throat.
What's it called? Wasn't 17?
It was the Midnight
Sex, Lies, and
Cowboy.
Videotape. Was it?
Name's Midnight Cowboy.
Was Sex, Lies, and Videotape?
All right, guys.
Never mind,
I am
I'm making
moving
up.
on to
That was
best
X.
supporting actress.
Okay.
I'm really mixing it up.
Okay, Best Supporting.
Best supporting actress.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. What about Joseph Gordon-Levitt for 50-50?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd be
Absolutely.
happy to see him in there,
Be
but
very happy with that.
it's tough to kick
That guy's
anybody
good.
who got nominated out.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought they
Well,
were
no,
to 10 people, or just 10 movies.
Just 10 movies for Best
For Best
Picture.
They don't
Films.
even do 10 movies. They do. There's 9 this year, which is
Yeah.
so stupid. It's
So they couldn't figure out 10?
No,
Then
because
what's the
figured-
point? They're like,
No,
there's
no,
only
no.
9 good performances.
basically they do all the votes and whatever the percentages, all this man. Just make it 10.
Just like the Baseball Hall of Fame. Just a bunch of crusty old people who want to snub people.
All right, so
All right,
Catherine, I'm
best
sorry.
supporting actress, Octavia Spencer in The Help.
Third time's a charm, yeah.
Yeah.
She was
All right.
great.
We got Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids. Here,
Interesting
here.
choice, yeah.
Would really love to see her take it home.
Yeah.
Berenice Bejo in The Artist.
She's
She's
really
that hot
great.
chick. Not a
Yeah.
lot of talking, though.
But
am
she
I
was
right?
great, though.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
They're going to nominate the shit out of the
Artist.
Yeah, and the artists because the actors and the people who do it want to seem smart. So like, yeah,
No,
this
but
is the
did you see-
movie
did you
I
see
want
it,
to be
though?
into.
Did you see it though?
No.
But I understand that.
But I know the reaction to it, and the reaction is
You're
all,
absolutely right.
from all of Hollywood.
Are
is
you
like,
all
this
the
is
way on it?
amazing
Did you
and
love it?
beautiful.
I loved it, and I think, and that was the thing. I was
medium
on
on
Ari's.
it.
I was on Ari's way of thinking though before I saw it because I was like, this is just done to do a silent film. So look how creative we are. But I watched it at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and I was tired when I watched it, but I didn't fall asleep once. I watched it the whole way through. I really enjoyed what they did, the homage to silent film.
I thought it was phenomenal, and it
Yeah.
reminded me of another movie that's nominated for Best Picture, Hugo, because it kind of really romanticizes the dawning of the film era, and it watches this transition from silent movies to talkies, and I thought that was fascinating to watch.
By nominating and voting for this, Hollywood gets to celebrate itself.
Yeah, also,
I don't
The
disagree with
Artist.
Ari, it's the Oscars. What do you,
Yeah,
do you
no,
want them to
that's why it's gonna
celebrate?
win. That's why it's
music?
totally gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know. The Artist for me, as much as I loved watching it, I loved that I loved the catchiness of it. I thought it was really beautifully made. I was captivated from the beginning to the end. The acting was so over the top, as it should be,
Right,
as
it
a
had to
silent
be, right.
film. But the idea that any of these people are nominated floors me.
Really?
Because
The dog
you
was
don't think,
great.
but you don't think
You
carrying a
didn't have
movie.
to memorize any lines, bro. That's half of it.
I know. Well, you don't think you have to carry a film and keep people interested for an hour and a half to 2 hours?
I think there's a way of doing that without being as muggy. And I realize that is the essence of
I think
that
it's a
period.
handicap that you can't
Right.
talk. So if you still have my attention and you can't even
But
talk,
how much more
that's
powerful would
impressive.
it be if you keep my attention, you don't talk, and you can tell stories without making me wince every once in a while? I winced a lot.
Overboard like Muggy.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, you're not the. I mean, a lot of people felt that way too.
Moving
but
on.
anyway,
Jessica
You know what? I winced
Chastain
when I
in The
watched
Help.
Paul Rudd and Our Idiot Brothers. So
So
how
two.
about that?
So we got 2 from The Help. Jessica
Chastain, who's fantastic, also a Tree of Life actress.
Okay.
Janet McTeer and Albert Nobbs. Did any of you guys see that?
No,
I did, and she's fantastic.
Okay.
in it. She's
All right.
really, really good. And can I be totally offensive? Is she a lesbian in real life? Does anyone know?
I don't know. Why is that offensive? You're just asking
Probably.
what she likes
Because
to
she
eat.
plays a lesbian on the movie. I didn't want to be like, is she? So, you know. It's this chick.
Ari's going to make a judgment based on her face if she's a lesbian or
Yeah,
not.
she looks like a lesbian.
She looks like a lesbian. She's really,
no,
really
I
good.
did too, and then I completely did.
Really, really good.
pretty
Very
good at
butch.
this.
All right,
that's
so
a
guys,
lesbian.
that's the best supporting actress.
Well, I'll tell you right away who got screwed. Shailene Woodley. That girl.
Shailene Woodley
She was
she was
pretty
the
damn
older
good.
daughter in The Descendants,
Yes.
and she was great.
pretty
She was
good.
great, and she.
You know why she got snubbed is not only was she great, but there's that one scene when she tells George Clooney, the secret about the mom.
Yeah.
And that is such a custom-made Oscar moment when they announce your name, then they play that one short clip
You're
of your
right.
best
That
work.
was her clip.
That was right there. I mean,
you know
you're
what?
never, you could go through your entire life and not have a clip that good again.
She's a freshman, though, you guys. I mean, this girl's going to have a huge career.
Yeah.
It's built her. I'm not crying
so it's like
for
when
her.
Isaiah Thomas froze out Michael Jordan at his first All-Star game.
But you think she's going to
Yeah,
have
totally,
a huge
Mark.
career though? Because she had like some Nickelodeon show or something where people killed her for it, and then she does this and has like a breakthrough performance, and they don't say You know,
I think they just criticized the Nickelodeon show because it wasn't as good as You Can't Do That on television.
Or Hey Dude or whatever it is.
You know what would have been better for Nick
I
Nolte?
watched all those shows.
You know what would have been better for Nick Nolte if we saw him struggling with that bottle the first time.
Off topic,
All
but
we
accurate.
saw was him
Off topic,
drunk.
but
He's been
accurate.
thinking about that since.
Melissa McCarthy should take this home. She should take this
Really?
home all goddamn day.
Okay, look, I
did
love
you see
doing
Bridesmaids?
No, I kept meaning to with somebody. I couldn't. I'm one of those guys that can't see a movie alone.
You got to learn how to see movies, dude. You're going to be on the road a lot. You're working on a new hour. You got to go to the movies.
That stuff I could do on the
sit
road.
in a dark room. Is there like a fear of being by yourself?
No, I've done it before, but I like to go out with people.
All right. Do you talk during movies though? Like you don't make like pithy comments. You don't ruin the movie for everybody else.
No, unless it's like way late in the run and there's like 6 people there, then I'll quietly whisper to whoever I'm with. If we go back and
That might
forth.
be fair.
You give the audience an hour to show up.
But wait, Catherine. Then I know that you're very. I mean, I thought Melissa McCarthy was fantastic. And if you go back and look at our summer movie preview that we did, I thought she was going to be the worst thing in the movie. I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be that cliche. Oh, look at the fat girl that's making all the jokes, and she's the best part of
she's
the
brilliant.
film.
She's
Big
really,
bump,
really
buddy.
Brilliant.
Is she nominated?
Yeah.
Oh, in a comedy?
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that,
more should be. Like John Candy should have been nominated for Sex.
Planes, Trains, and
Yeah.
Automobiles.
John
And
Candy
that's
should
what,
have won.
comedy in
for
general,
Planes
we all
on
know
Automobiles.
is snubbed and it's overlooked. But this
should have a
performance in
category then.
particular, especially when all the other actresses, I mean, there's not like one of them where it was like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? Like all of them were pretty much, I would say, on par. And she, I thought,
Knocked it out of the park.
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And it would be a huge moment, I think, for overweight actresses and comedians.
Yeah, I listen. I would be totally okay if she won it, and I'd be okay if she won the
who was
Reviewers
snubbed?
Award.
I
too.
think
Is she a comedian?
I don't
Yeah.
think she will.
They're
I
liking Molly,
think
so I'm not
Octavia
gonna stand
Spencer's
up.
taking it. I think Octavia Spencer's taking it for the help. But
I think so,
Yeah.
too.
But
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, like I think part of the reason why she's nominated too, she was great in it. But also that so came out of left field because everybody thought this summer The Hangover 2 is going to be the best comedy
Yeah.
that was ever
Right.
made.
Right.
And Bridesmaids this kind of other thing where let's let the women have a turn at bat, and it was like a league of their own. It was like it was so
A brilliant movie, by the
funny.
way.
and she was the
And
Babe
she was
Ruth
so
of the team,
funny,
for
and
sure.
nobody had any clue she was going to be that good in it.
Yeah, no.
All right, guys, we're plowing forward. I
right.
got Best Supporting Actor Christopher Plummer, who so far has been making
In
quite
Beginners?
a name
Yep,
for himself
he's
in The
pretty great.
Beginners. We got
Ari's pick.
Ari's pick.
Nick Nolte in Warrior.
I pick.
We've got
What if Nick Nolte got drunk and won, and he started listening to Moby Dick while he was giving his speech?
that sounds like it's
I'd like
gonna
to think
happen.
Captain Ahab.
We've got Kenneth
you,
Branagh
Ari.
in My Week with Marilyn, which really?
Kenneth
Did you guys
Branagh?
see this
No,
movie?
I know. Sadie said it was all right.
Kenneth
It was
Branagh.
all right.
Makeup calls. They love giving makeup calls in the Oscars.
But I'll tell you
That's
the
why
one
it's
person
stupid.
who's forgettable in My Week with Marilyn, and that is Kenneth Branagh.
Really? Okay.
I also didn't like the way he directed Thor, but that is a conversation for another
another
podcast.
story. Moving on.
Jonah Hill in Moneyball.
Wow, really?
Good nomination there
Yeah.
because the thing is, I have been tough on Jonah Hill in every movie he's been in, basically, except
Yeah.
Funny People and Moneyball, and he
Yeah.
was really good in Moneyball.
I thought he was great in Moneyball,
and
and I
he
love him
he
fat.
deserves it. But
He's
here's
great in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
he's in it for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It was funny.
All right. Now look,
It's a win. It's a win. Even though it's not a comedic performance, it's a win for comedy.
but
It's like
here's where we got. Here's where there's a screw job, and I want to explain it before.
Scrooge.
Yeah, there is because look, Andy Serkis. Honestly, I think should have been nominated for Best Actor.
Yeah.
but
Is that Gollum?
it's Caesar from Rise of the
more
Planet of the
recently
Apes.
Caesar, yeah, but he played Gollum. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I think now I think he was Best Actor, but if you should acknowledge him in some aspect, and you should definitely, if not Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor. So we got screwed in both categories.
Yeah, but I just
They're
don't,
not ready yet.
I don't see a place in Best Actor where he could have gone in.
Fine, but what about Best Supporting Actor?
Best
That's what I'm
supporting
saying.
actor. I mean, everybody else in there is pretty
But
good.
come on, man. That's the thing is that
They
they're
only
not
nominate 5,
acknowledging
that's
that.
the problem.
Yeah.
What they're not acknowledging what a lot of people still don't understand motion capture. They just don't get it yet.
You know what they should do? You know what the Oscars should really do is release the vote like how close other people got. I think that would make a lot of people
Yeah.
feel better if you
Honorable
looked at the
mention.
nominations and you
Honorable
saw
mentions.
like, oh man, Andy Serkis. If this was 7, then if there were 7 people, then Andy Serkis would have gotten in. I think that'd make
Yeah.
a lot of people feel
Also
a lot
ran
better.
I think there's
Yeah.
so many arguments that can be made for so many things that are snubbed, right? Like comedies, like motion capture. But at some point, the show is already 4 hours long, right? I mean, what can they do to properly honor all these different categories without making the show the longest show on earth?
There's fucking 6 categories anybody cares about. How's that 4 hours?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
you
got
to cut out a lot of the nonsense.
Yeah.
Director, movie,
Yeah, put it on the web.
supporting,
You have the internet, put it on the web.
Here's the thing: when they say
Well,
that
don't
they
they do that
had
for the Grammys?
when they say that they had a special ceremony for the technical awards, then great. We don't need to see it. If it's not important enough to be on that stage, then we don't need to see it. And cut out
technical awards.
I say cut out the music too. I don't like the musical
it's
performance.
Oh, I like it.
They're not even. Well, yeah, but you know what? Muppets is nominated, and they're not
That's
even going to have
right,
the
and they're not
Muppets
even
sing.
performing.
Come on,
It's
you guys are
offensive.
Muppets
Is
sing.
Randy Newman going to do the Muppets?
No,
Why
they're
don't you have
probably going to have
somebody doing a
Rihanna
fucking-
sing or something.
Why don't you have somebody doing a monologue?
Right. So,
who cares?
Right.
All right, guys, we are plowing forward.
All right.
I
I got Best Director here. Are you excited?
Yeah, Best Director.
Yeah, and there's
The artist guy's going to get it.
I agree
Michael Hazanavicius for The Artist.
Wow, good pronunciation.
So delicious. Martin Scorsese for Hugo, who won it for the Golden Globe. Terrence Malick for The Tree of Life.
Boo.
This guy is a DP.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Terrence Malick, but I don't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Alexander Payne, The Descendants. There you have it.
Well, I don't think he's going to win, but I want him to.
Very talented. Woody Allen for Midnight in Paris. Really?
Why? It's a good movie.
It was a good movie, but I don't see
it was
Best
great
Director.
when we were in
Always.
olden times, and then he took a crap on
I
Kurt.
don't agree.
I couldn't talk about it when what's his name was here,
conversation.
Kurt Fuller. But
Oh, okay.
anyway, another
Yeah, it's
conversation.
another story.
So who do you think's going to get it?
Well, let me real quick.
Well, first question is, Ari, have you seen any of the movies that were directed?
I have seen none of them.
Okay. I think we're going to
It's a bad
have
year for movies
we're
for
going to
me.
get in a bit of a debate here because I got my guy.
Who's your guy?
I think he wants Scorsese for
Yeah,
Hugo. And
Hugo was phenomenal.
I think
beautiful.
I think in a directing standpoint,
It was phenomenal.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
I thought the movie was okay.
But directing. What do you mean by directing? Can you define it?
Yes, and as far as this film in general, and I've said this before, there are certain times when the director is the star of the film.
Yeah.
and this is one of those
Like
times.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? That lost to fucking
To Forrest
the
Gump.
retard. Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
And it's like clearly that
Channing
wasn't better
Tatum?
directing. You can maybe say it was a better movie, but it's clearly not better directing.
You're absolutely right. And that's
Channing
the thing.
Tatum.
But so I thought the way that it looked, I was bored in the beginning of Hugo, but the way it tied up and the way that Scorsese let you know that this was about the preservation of film and the way that it made everything look, and some of the best 3D that I've seen since Avatar.
It took the newest technology available, 3D, and it told a great story about the
old
dawn
times.
of cinema, and it ties everything together. And like Ari said, it's one of those movies where the Academy loves celebrating itself. This is a good excuse to do
With
that.
the pacing of a coffee percolator. I just don't think the guy, he's lost his pacing. And for me, that's
Really?
so crucial to
Okay.
directing. So I don't think
Which
he
begs
got
the question,
Hugo.
Catherine, who do you think should win Best Director?
I think Alexander Payne for The
I'm
Descendants.
agreeing with you that I also think that he should win. I think Scorsese will win. And as far as
Do you think he'll win?
Scorsese, yeah, I think he's going to win. As far as snubs,
I don't know.
I think they're going to give
I
it
think
to
Payne's
the
gonna
silent
win.
film.
Oh, wait,
'Cause
no, you're
when are they,
right.
when are they
You're
going to
right.
be able to vote for a silent film again?
you're right.
Never.
I actually think Have a Vinicius will win because
Do you think this is going
No.
to be the next 3D? Like, there's going to be like 6 silent movies that come out?
No, there's not.
but Scorsese won the Golden Globe, so I think he'll have that. Have a Vinicius will win the.
It is a beautiful, it's such an uplifting story, but so is Descendants, man. I don't know.
But I think snub-wise,
Yeah.
and I didn't love the movie, but I think Nicholas Winding Refn should be nominated.
Sorry, say it
For
again.
Drive.
Nicholas,
For Drive.
I mean, that was a
1
very
billion
well
percent,
directed.
sir.
You said a
1
cool tone,
billion
stuff like that.
percent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the shots and the way he put it together. I mean, I thought Gosling.
If
You said
Drive-
Gosling should be nominated for Drive. He just stares at the wall.
If
the whole
Drive
time.
was
But I
a
think-
short film, and the short film was just that first scene, and then Albert Brooks being mean, then nominate the hell out of it. But the whole
you don't
movie,
think he should be directed? I mean, for
I
directing,
thought it was a very well directed film, but
Yeah.
it's not in the it's not
directing wise, he did a
gonna
good job,
penetrate
man.
my top 5.
I thought he added the way he added the music. And
Never
everything.
say penetrate this close to me again.
All
right.
You've penetrated my
should
heart.
we keep
Catherine.
plowing?
Yeah, keep plowing.
Now that we've penetrated?
Yes.
Let's go into Best Actress. I apologize.
Yeah.
Viola Davis in The Help.
Okay.
I like how you're keeping us on our toes. Like
Yeah,
we
I
don't
do
know
too.
what the
No,
next category is
I
going
like
to
that.
be.
Cracking the old whip. Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn. She was very good.
Okay.
Mediocre movie, great actress. Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady. Again,
People always like her.
mediocre
She
film,
always
great
wins, though.
actress.
Yeah.
Glenn
Enough with her.
Close and Albert Nobb.
They're
She
the
knocked
same
it
person.
out.
It's the less attractive one.
Glenn Close and Meryl Streep. I used to think they were the same
I
people
bet
too.
A
Glenn
lot of
Close.
people have been saying that.
I bet Glenn Close is phenomenal, Albert Nobb, and you know why it's
She
great?
is.
It's because she's not doing an impression like
know.
Meryl Streep is.
I'm
I'm a
sure
little
both.
tired.
You know what, though?
I'm tired of them.
I'm a little tired of
her
impressions.
Albert
winning.
Nobbs is very one-dimensional. I'm speaking from the person who saw it at the
I
table.
haven't seen that.
I
To
did
me,
hear this on NPR about Meryl Streep, about the Iron Lady one, that she had to act like Margaret Thatcher before she took speech lessons and after in the same movie, and they showed clips of it, and she has a completely different accent. and sound.
She's a genius. The chick's a genius.
I'm sorry to go off topic. You know who we forgot for best director? David Fincher.
For what?
I was going to say
Girl
him,
with
but
Dragon
here's my
Tattoo. I
argument with
forget
this. I did think about it because it was probably my favorite
Yeah.
movie of last year. Because the film has been already made 3 times.
Yeah.
I guess that could be argued 3
Yeah,
different stories, and I know
I
it.
see what you're saying.
But by the way, what he did with it and how much he evolved it into this film, he condensed it. I mean, he made it a better movie.
And he really worked with Rooney Mara to get her.
It was brilliant,
Yeah.
and he's brilliant, but I don't necessarily think this is the one he should have been nominated
No,
for.
but I think this also segues us into Best Actress too, because Rooney Mara for me is who should win. She won't win, but she.
Are you saying that
because
you're a Giants fan, or because you really?
No, but she.
She is the what is she? The daughter of the guy that runs the Giants?
Yeah, and
Christian, she gave me goosebumps.
The Giants are having a good year.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they are.
She's the last one. So Rooney Mara, Glenn Close, Meryl Streep, Michelle Williams, Viola Davis.
Rooney Mara should win.
I think Viola Davis will win.
Glenn Streep will win,
and I think
Meryl Streep is going to win hard.
Yeah, Glenn Streep's
really?
going to
win.
She's going to win hard, but Rooney Mara should. So who was snubbed?
Let's see. Who was snubbed for Best Actress?
I know, I can't even think.
I know. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron was really good young adult.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then so it's that one was. I thought the majority of people who got nominated were supposed to get nominated for that.
Did you see the preview for that Charlize Theron movie from Chronicle?
Which one? Say that again.
Did you see Chronicle yet?
Yes.
Did you see the preview? Do you guys watch
No, we don't.
early
They don't
movies?
air previews at screenings.
There's a preview, not for Snow White, but maybe for Cinderella. Who's the one with the mirror on the wall?
Yeah. The Huntsman, Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah,
and
that looks
Charlize Theron
great.
is the evil
Julia
queen.
Roberts?
No, not Julia Roberts. the other one.
Yeah,
Charlize Theron is the evil queen.
Yeah, and she looks beautiful. She starts to look old, and she sucks the youth out of people.
It's effing brilliant.
And then when they're like, "Who's the fairest of them all?" and the mirror goes, "Yeah, someone's coming." And you're like, "Who's this gonna be? Which actress do they pick?" And like, they got a 6. They got a fucking 6. I can't believe it.
Well, they're going to hit Charlize Theron in the face with a bat and then compare the two of them.
Maybe.
I don't understand how you get Charlize Theron not as hot as Kristen Stewart.
Yeah,
if I'm the
world?
mirror, I'm like, you are the hottest chick ever. Go ahead and take off your clothes and get dressed.
If I can talk to that mirror, I'm like, mirror, are there any new updates for you?
Yeah, that's right.
I need a new mirror app because
Refresh.
Catherine, you know who also got screwed?
Who?
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
We need to talk about Kevin.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I saw bits and pieces, but the bits and pieces I did see, she was.
She's
Wait. You saw bits and pieces of we got to talk about Kevin?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say for I Am Love from the year before.
I have a DVD screener and a screaming baby. It's tough to commit.
Really? So you saw bits and pieces? Was it good?
She was good.
She's always good, huh?
It looked like a hard movie to swallow.
Are we all relieved that Leo DiCaprio didn't get nominated for J. Edgar?
No, I'm not relieved because the thing was I thought he did really well in a movie that was just underwhelming. I blame Clint Eastwood for that.
You know who was snubbed? Armie Hammer.
No.
Armie Hammer? Are you kidding me?
He looked like the great. What was the Six Flag guy?
You guys need to relax about the makeup. Did he look weird? Yes, but the guy's performance.
But that's not. Yeah, the makeup is an Armie Hammer. He looked like he was wearing a Halloween mask.
You can't blame makeup on him.
Yeah,
he was in J. Edgar, and he played J. Edgar's confidant throughout his whole life, and so it was a really well done performance. But I just didn't think it was. I'm not going to give him a statue.
Was the whole gay storyline to J. Edgar?
Yeah, they actually did show. I mean, it was a very neutral point of view, but that I blame Eastwood more than I think DiCaprio was fine. I thought he was actually really good.
Yeah,
he was the only thing that I really liked.
And Judi Dench was great as DiCaprio's mom.
Right.
I don't know how this doesn't have best film in it.
It will somewhere.
Okay.
Sure.
Maybe we know off the top of our head.
But you know what I want to say? A snub before we get to best film. A snub for best animation would be Tintin.
Yeah, how does Tintin not get nominated?
Because they're not acknowledging stop capture.
I found it hard to watch, you guys. I wasn't into it.
I love that movie.
Oh, Tintin's great.
I love Tintin, and it was like, and I said this before. It's the best Indiana Jones movie they've made since Last Crusade. Yeah.
It's definitely the 4th best Indiana Jones movie.
It's a really great movie, and it got screwed.
Did John Williams get nominated for that score? John Williams, I think, is going up against himself, isn't he? I think he got nominated for 2. I think he got nominated.
Maybe you're right. I think that was the only thing that got nominated was the score. You're right.
I thought Beginners got snubbed for.
Okay, well, let me ask you. And Beginners got snubbed for a lot of stuff because I thought Beginners was one of my favorites.
One of the best movies.
It came out in the summer, and that's always.
While Catherine is fishing around for Best Picture, let me ask Ari. Ari, what was your favorite movie of 2011?
Man, it was a bad movie year for me. I just didn't see much.
You saw no superhero movies. You didn't see any of the big.
Iron Man
films?
2 was horrible. That was in 2011. I guess it was 2010.
Yeah, but it's all the Avengers thing. You didn't see Thor.
I saw pieces of it.
You saw pieces of Thor. Did you and Harloff watch that?
Oh, Captain America was horrible. It was
you didn't like Captain America?
It was beyond unwatchable. Yeah, no, it's so stupid.
You didn't think you thought it was unwatchable?
Yeah, first of all, here's how you defeat him. Just fucking put a gun to some kid's head, and he's powerless. That's it. That's it.
Guys,
Nazis win.
I have got Best Picture. Are you ready?
Yes.
The Artist. The Descendants.
No.
Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. Are you serious?
How was that nominated?
Are you serious? The Help. Hugo. Midnight in Paris. Moneyball. The Tree of Life. Come on. War Horse.
Yay.
Really?
Hate on War Horse. Cut it out.
The horsey who fights for both the English and the German army.
Look, there are a lot. There are too many.
People
movies
have such a boner for Spielberg they can't even see straight.
Guys, on the live stream right now, put all your choices on for Best Picture. Who you thought got snubbed?
Don't write Lars and the Real Girl.
No.
Who directed War Horse?
Spielberg.
That was the first time he directed animals since the Palestinians in Munich.
Ari Shaffir, very proud of his heritage. Spielberg's great with animals, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
He gets them really well.
Jaws, Jurassic Park.
So what do you guys think? The Descendants, you think?
No, it's a silent film.
The Artist?
Yeah.
You might be right. I mean, people really wow.
You know what
I think
the artist is going to be like the King's Speech last year. It's going to clean up.
How do you guys feel about the Oscars in general?
Smells.
It does, right?
Yeah, because look, this is why.
Wait, about the Oscars, not just this year, like
just in general.
In general, I think it's way too showy and stupid. However, I do like watching the host. My favorite part about the Oscars is watching the host.
Well,
and
let's get to that. Let's get to the host. I want to talk to the host after we go through all the categories.
Yeah.
But like the thing is too, as far as the Oscars go, that's why we started the Reviewers Awards. And
when In the Bedroom lost her Best Picture to the one with the guy with the split personality, Beautiful Mind.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is dumb.
Yeah,
this
right.
is dumb.
But one could argue the Golden Globes.
Yeah, we still keep watching.
And it is a makeup call ceremony too, like the whole Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe thing.
Yeah, he wasn't even a lead actor in that.
Yeah. But
I also have here.
If I can go Best Picture, if we can just go around the room and see Best Picture, can I see the nominees, please?
Okay. Well, what about, all right. So what about 50-50? That got screwed.
50-50 got screwed.
got
And if you have room for 10 and you only put 9, I don't understand why 50-50 can't be on there.
I don't just don't put the 10th on there.
Or, I don't know, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Is what they do. Yeah,
How is Girl with the Dragon Tattoo not for
exactly.
Best Picture? Easily one of my favorites of
It was
last year.
very well directed. Rooney Mara was tremendous in it, but the movie as a whole, I don't think it's
Not your kind of story.
not my
movie.
cup of tea.
A lot of rape.
I think that the artist will win.
Is Descendants?
The Descendants is nominated, but I think the artist will win. And obviously, what I would like to see win is either War Horse or Hugo. And I don't think either one of them has a shot.
Blah. I think it's a race between the artist and the Descendants, and I pray
Yeah, I agree with
that
you.
the Descendants pulls ahead.
You think the Descendants is going to beat the artist?
I hope so.
I think
Wow.
The Descendants is
I
great, but
just
it
dig
feels like a
Alexander
movie that
Payne.
could come out any year, and the artist kind of seems like a once in a generation.
Yeah.
Kind
What's
of
so
thing.
funny is that's
know
not
it's not-
true. The Descendants is so special. It's so different, actually.
You know what? You're so special.
You know what
That's
else
true.
got screwed too? And I'm sure you might fight me on this, but the last Harry Potter film.
You're absolutely right.
That was
You're absolutely
David
right.
Yates did a great job on
Yeah.
that last movie.
8 movies in, tying it all together with a great climax.
And if you also want to go Best Supporting Actor, our boy
Hermione?
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman
Alan
got screwed too.
Alan Rickman got screwed for Die
And Ray
Hard.
Fiennes.
He should have been
But that-
nominated.
Harry
got screwed
Potter
from Harry
should have been
Potter
nominated.
is that fat kid who grew up and became really awkward looking.
Oh, Neville.
But he still got 7 more movies.
Yeah, Neville. Oh, he's gonna and it'll be okay. So it's not. It's not.
he had
didn't
a-
get
he had
screwed.
a-
point.
Neville-
He's got a good
Career
bank
and a
account.
retirement.
He had a clutch. He had a couple clutch buckets at the end of that in that last fight
Oh,
scene.
and Neville
ended up
shows
hitting
up, man.
He had a few
Neville
big
shows
threes.
up. That's what I'm saying. That movie, the second movie, was so good, and that's to shows you how old the Academy is.
Yeah.
They're not going to nominate that movie.
Can we
Yeah.
go original screenplay for fun?
Yeah. So is that everybody? So everyone's done with Best Picture, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, who's going to win Best Picture?
Artist.
Okay.
Original screenplay, we got Michelle Hazanavicius, the artist.
Yeah.
Annie and Kristen Wiig, Bridesmaids.
They might lose for best screenplay.
Right.
the
'cause
artist.
there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
J.C. Shandor, Margin Call, Woody
Descendants.
Allen, Midnight in Paris,
Oh,
which got the
yeah.
Golden
Has
Globe.
Woody Allen won an Oscar
and
yet? Yes, for
Asghar
best screenplay?
Farhadi, A Separation. That script was insane.
And that's the
Yeah.
one you just saw.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's very
no
good.
one else
but he's
saw
not going to win. No,
Separation.
it's not going to win.
Yeah, I think Midnight in Paris.
I
has it
think
in a
Midnight in
walk.
Paris.
Shouldn't everyone voting be required to watch all the movies that
Do you
have
think
been
the artist
nominated?
screenplay? You think the screenplay for the artist is
voted.
6
Who cares
pages
if a lot of
long?
people saw them.
Well, I'm saying nobody here saw Separation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the
If
thing.
we all saw movies like Ari Shafir, then this would be a really short podcast.
but like, who
How
cares
is the
if a lot
artist
of
even
people got
nominated for
money?
best original screenplay? How?
Yeah.
It's pretty silly.
It's 6 pages.
I think if they vote on that, then it looks like a joke. It's like, how did the thing
And
with no
Bridesmaids is all
dialogue work?
improvised. I didn't see Margin Call. Midnight in Paris is actually clever, even though I thought it was terribly directed. And no one saw A Separation. So it's going to be Woody.
I think
50-50
Ari, part of
should
that
have
is
definitely
campaigning,
gotten
though. Like
nominated
that's something
Yeah,
that people
the
hate about
money
the
campaign.
Oscars. A lot of it is political. So some people you don't have to have a huge following,
Yeah.
but enough people have to have seen it.
It's
to
like
get
lobbying. They
Did
should
it-
be sequestered. Remember
like
when Monique
lobbyists.
refused to
Oh, wow. The
refused to
cinematography
campaign
category
for
has
Best
a
Actress,
bunch
but
of
she
good
won
ones,
anyway?
too.
She goes,
Did it-
"No, I'm spending time with my kids."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who did that?
Monique. For
Oh, right,
Precious.
Yeah, they're like, you have to. It's like, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
off.
So those. Sorry. Go ahead.
I got one more that
Yeah.
I think is going to be very tricky,
Yeah.
actually. Cinematography,
All right.
The Artist, Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Artist wins hands down.
Hugo could win.
Hugo, Tree of Life, which is pure cinematography.
Right.
Or Warhorse.
I go Hugo.
Shoot, that's a
Tree of Life.
Hugo.
I think Hugo might take
So
that.
it's
Yeah,
so
you're right.
advantage of the 3D and the
You're right.
cameras.
I don't know.
It was
That's
phenomenal.
That's no pun intended. A horse race.
Yeah,
Gross.
but not Warhorse.
totally
I think
it's
it's
Tree of
between.
Life.
I think
You're
it's between that and Tree of Life.
Okay. So all right, we're done with all the.
Ari, you enjoy drugs. You should see Tree of Life.
All right, we're done with the.
And he's sold.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not telling the kids out there to do drugs, but if you're
Which
already,
drugs do you think I should be on when I watch it?
I don't
Catherine-
know enough about
Sir.
Miss
the substances.
Miss Movies is yelling
I
at
just want
us
you to be
because
safe.
she said for the artist, there's still a story even though it's a silent film. Come on,
No doubt.
It's
No,
a- why don't you
it's
shut up?
solid
Idiot on the computer.
This
Ari gets
movie,
mad at
you're
the
right.
computer.
This movie, it's gonna. There is a screenplay there, but best original screenplay.
I know for dialogue, I think it has
Do you know
to
how much
take
work
into
dialogue is to
consideration.
write?
I know. All right. Anyway, so those are the Oscars. Those are the predictions. Hearing all of those, there's only one conclusion, and that's watch the Euroviewers Awards because there's a lot more that people actually want to see.
where the real movie lovers come out to vote.
That's right. But let's talk about the hosts of the Oscar. Originally, it was supposed to be Eddie Murphy, and then Brett Ratner opened his fat mouth, and then that's not going to happen.
Brett Ratner
anymore.
was producing the Oscars, so that's how Eddie Murphy got involved in it because they made
sorry,
Tower
I
Heights
have to
together.
pee.
Then
Yeah.
Brett Ratner dropped out because he had a
did
lot of pressure.
stuff. No, and then he opened a lot of
Did
stupid
he drop
things.
an F-bomb?
Well, he did that. He said things about he made some references on
Actresses
gay
that he slept with
people,
and stuff.
actresses
Yeah.
he slept with. He's just an idiot.
So then he drops out. So then Eddie Murphy drops out, which breaks my poor little heart because I was so excited. I think every comic was, even if you weren't excited, you're at least really interested to see Eddie Murphy do in a stand-up comedy setting again. It would have been fantastic.
Right. So they went to Old Faithful and they got Billy Crystal, which is. But listen, for nostalgia purposes, you get him one more time before he dies.
Here's why I say
he's not going to die, is he?
no. Here's
do it
why.
like
Here's
5
why.
more times.
Here's why they went to Billy Crystal because last year when Franco and Hathaway were hosting and it fell off the rails so quick. Billy Crystal came out and did something, and the place was so happy to see Billy Crystal. It's like thank God somebody saved the show.
Yeah, but that's
and he
anybody
crushed.
though. You could have put. I mean, like literally, any one of us could have walked up there after that. And done something that had
No,
that
Billy
most.
Crystal does a good job. He thinks outside the box
he
a little
does.
bit.
He does.
But it's also like the only reason anybody knows him anymore is because he still does the Oscars.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
It's
get
absolutely
some
true.
new comedian, get Seth Meyers or something like that.
But yeah, so I mean,
I'd like to see Jon Stewart host it again.
Oh fuck yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Jon Stewart was really good. I mean, but I also, it's one of it's kind of goes back to what you were saying before though, with like how there's really no comedic star. Like,
Yeah.
you need new blood to come out there, and like there's somewhere out there is that guy who's the next best host, the next Billy.
And maybe he's on this podcast right now.
Why do they get a comedy guy? If they don't celebrate the comedies at all, why are they getting a comedy guy who hosts the Oscars?
I agree.
I think the other thing though is that this late in
Obama to
the
do it.
ball game when they were already starting to prepare and then somebody drops out, you need somebody who you know can hit a double, if not a home run. I think Billy Crystal's great. I think he'll crush it. So you want the most reliable choice this late in the game.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Now we have. Okay, so Catherine, you're returning. That was the Oscar show. That was the Oscar snubs.
Catherine, as a woman, do you get excited about the dresses and all that stuff? Like, do you get excited to watch
Absolutely.
the red carpet stuff?
Is that the main reason I watch the Oscars? Absolutely not. But I love the fashion aspect. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like everyone thinks like, oh, these women like put so much time and energy into their dresses. Like most of them, a designer says you should wear this. It's actually
all right,
not.
cool.
Yeah. It's really not like the woman is sitting at home being like,
Give me 4 choices.
Right.
Yeah, I like the red one.
And they just put it together, and I think we give the actresses entirely too much credit for the dresses they're wearing.
It's one montage
It's a designer
of them
show.
going to a store, like trying on dresses, and like, that one, not that one.
Did you see when Trey and Matt showed up to the Oscars?
That was my favorite
those
Oscar dress
dresses?
of
Yes.
all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
They were. If you watch their movie, the making of South Park, the documentary,
They
they
did
showed up one year. The
J-Lo
last
and,
2 years, there was somebody who wore like outrageous
Gwyneth
dresses.
Paltrow and J-Lo, yeah.
So they wore those dresses.
Oh, that's
they got
funny.
those dresses and they took acid and went to the
took acid
Oscars.
and went?
Yeah.
They took acid?
Yeah, they said they never mentioned like, what about these costumes, the things you're wearing? And they're like, it's just such a special moment.
Yeah,
They never
special
mentioned
comments
it.
on
They
the
never
fact that they're
comment
wearing
on it.
dresses. Yeah,
That's hysterical.
and that was when they were nominated for best original song
Score,
for
yeah.
South Park. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Blame Canada.
Did Conan O'Brien ever host the Oscars?
He'd be good.
No, that'd be a great choice. Letterman did, and it didn't go. So I'd like to see Letterman host again. I love Dave Letterman so much.
Okay.
How about the guy from who's Letterman's like big first guy?
Oh.
No, that he brought up. He
Ferguson?
did. No, he was like a dweeb. He was in.
Chris Elliott?
Chris Elliott. Yeah, he'd be a good host.
I don't think Chris Elliott's going to host the Oscars.
I don't think so either, but I'd like to see.
I don't think the
it.
guy from Cabin Boy is going to host the Oscars.
How about
but
Steve
it'd be
Martin? Has
great.
he ever done it?
Yeah,
He
he's
did it
done
with Alec
before.
Baldwin,
Yeah, yeah.
and I got to tell you, I want Steve Martin by himself. Alec Baldwin looked kind of out of his element, but Steve Martin is always great.
Tina Fey could do it.
That's Tina Fey.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, maybe. Okay, so guys, that is the Schmoes Know podcast. This week, our Oscar snubs, our Oscar predictions. I want to know what you guys think. Of course, if you're watching the live stream, let us know on here what you thought of the podcast, who you think, if there's anybody we left out, please
call in now, 217-555-2866.
Exactly
and
right.
compliments Ari Shaffir because it's such a movie-related podcast, and Ari is the guest we've had on that it literally saw one movie in 2011, and he's still good enough to have on the podcast.
No,
yes, he was.
My hat's off to you, my friend.
Ari, you have anything you want to plug as far as where you're going to be?
I'm going to be in Easton, Maryland on March 15th at the Avalon Theater.
The Ides of March. Come check out
website or anything?
AriTheGreat.com. All my dates are on there. Addison, Texas, and a bunch of other places. I'm doing a lot of road stuff this year.
Awesome. So check him out, guys. Make sure you do that. And Catherine Reitman, you can find at youtube.com/Schmoes Know. Us, schmoesknow.com or /Schmoes Know on YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
That's right. And Ari, when you do your hour, when at the end of this year, when you have your great hour and you do it, come back and promote it because we all want to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks a lot, guys. And make sure iTunes, do all that stuff. Write a review, comment, and like to thank everyone. And we'll see you some other time.
Enjoy the Oscars, kids.